All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are talking about one of the biggest, fastest transformations of our time, how artificial intelligence is completely rewriting the rules of work. This isn't some far-off future stuff. It's happening right now, and believe me, it affects every single one of us. So let's just cut to the chase, right? The one question that's on everybody's mind is my job safe? It feels like it should have a simple yes or no answer, but it is so much more complicated than that. And to even start to unpack it, we first have to get our heads around why this tech revolution is just different. You know, we've been here before. We've had massive technological shifts, from the printing press to the internet. But this one, the AI revolution, it's playing a whole different ballgame. And this slide, this really gets to the heart of it. See, in the past, technology was all about automating tasks that were predictable. Think assembly lines or calculators doing math, stuff that followed a clear set of rules. But today's AI, it's generative, meaning it can literally create brand new ideas. It's probabilistic, meaning it can make incredibly smart guesses and predictions. It's always learning. It's not just doing our routine work anymore, it's becoming a partner in our thinking work. And that leads us to this really crucial idea: cognitive augmentation. The best way to think about it is this. Stop seeing AI as something that's coming to replace you and start seeing it as a new kind of coworker. Seriously. We're already seeing this happen. Coders are using AI co-pilots to write software like never before. Doctors are using AI to get a second opinion on tricky diagnoses. The future isn't human versus AI. It's human plus AI. It's all about the team up. Okay, so if AI is our new collaborator, what does that actually mean for our day-to-day jobs? Well, that brings us to what many are calling the Great Job Reshuffle. It's going to be a time of huge change for sure, with some serious challenges, but also some pretty incredible new opportunities. So, which jobs are feeling the heat the most? Well, it's mostly the roles that are built on predictable, data-heavy tasks. You know, things like data entry, basic bookkeeping, or following a script. But, and this is a huge but, vulnerable doesn't automatically mean eliminated. For most of these roles, it's really about being redefined. The AI will handle the repetitive parts, which frees up the human to focus on the more complex, strategic parts of the job. And then you've got the other side of the coin. For every role that's changing, new ones are just exploding in demand. Of course, you've got the super technical jobs like AI engineers, but look closer at this list. There's a fascinating paradox here. The smarter the machines get, the more valuable our uniquely human skills become. Roles in care, in education, in ethical leadership, they're becoming more critical than ever. All right, so how do you actually navigate all this change? How do you come out on top? Well, it means you need a totally new career playbook. Because the old rules for getting ahead, they're being rewritten as we speak. This table shows you exactly what I mean. It used to be all about the degree you had, the piece of paper. Now employers care way more about the verifiable skills you can actually demonstrate. The idea that you just go to college once and you're done? That's over. It's all about lifelong, continuous learning now. And your value isn't just tied to your fancy job title. It's about how adaptable you are and the real impact you can make. So if the old credentials aren't the whole story, what is? It comes down to these skills. The skills that AI, for all its power, just can't replicate. We're talking about deep critical thinking, real emotional intelligence, genuine creativity. This is where you have the ultimate advantage. Oh, and of course, getting really good at using AI as a tool, that's becoming a non-negotiable skill for pretty much everyone. And honestly, this quote just says it all. The whole idea of a finished education is completely obsolete. It's a relic of a bygone era. In this new world, the people who are going to thrive, the people who are going to win, are the ones who master the skill of learning itself. But, you know, this whole thing is bigger than just our individual careers. We need to zoom out for a second, because what we're looking at is a massive transition for the entire economy, and that comes with some very real society-wide consequences. Look, AI promises to make us incredibly productive, but those gains don't just magically benefit everyone equally. There are some serious, legitimate concerns about the gap between high-skill and low-skill jobs getting even wider, about wages for middle-class jobs getting squeezed, and the risk that all this new wealth ends up concentrated in the hands of a very small group of people. And because those risks are so real, leaders and thinkers are debating some pretty big ideas on how to manage this transition. I mean, everything is on the table, from universal basic income and new ways to tax AI to massive government-funded reskilling programs. It proves a really critical point. The future of work is not just a technical problem we need to solve, it's a political and ethical challenge we all need to navigate together. And that brings us to our final, and maybe our most important section. In an age where machines are becoming unbelievably intelligent, what does it actually mean to be human? And where does our real, lasting advantage lie? Think about it. For centuries, so much of our identity, our self-worth, has been tied up in what we do. What do you do for a living? It's one of the first things we ask someone. But as AI gets better and better at the doing, we're being forced to ask a much deeper, more profound question. What is our value when it's no longer just about what we can produce? The most hopeful and, I think, sustainable path forward is this idea of human-centered AI work. In this future, we don't try to compete with AI on its terms. That's a losing battle. Instead, we direct it. We let the AI handle the insane scale, the speed, the number crunching. And that frees us up to do the work that only humans can do. The creative work, the empathetic work, the ethically complex work. So at the end of the day, this is the one thing to hold on to. This massive shift isn't something we should just fear. It's something we have to navigate with purpose. Yes, AI is absolutely going to change the tasks we do every day. But if we make the choice to double down on our most human skills, our creativity, our communication, our judgment, then AI doesn't diminish who we are. In fact, it might just be the very thing that pushes us to become more human than ever before.